A simple thing like just fitting the choke cable ended up taking half a day. The choke plunger was jammed again.
So I've remembered to remove the gag from Abigail this morning. Left that rag in the inlet port. That wasn't going to help get the engine started later on today. That's a little oiler I've used to oil the choke cable, and I've set the choke cable up into this switch here now, and that's the choke working. It's well oiled, the cable. I think it's a little bit stiff down here. Anyway, I'll take the plunger out of the side of the carburettor and plumb that in. That brass piece moving backwards and forwards there, seen in through the top of the carburettor with the vacuum diaphragm removed, is the starting choke moving backwards and forwards. I'm operating the choke lever down there, and you can see the plunger moving backwards and forwards there. I had trouble this morning when I went to fit the choke cable that the plunger was stuck again in the carburettor. So it's been off and cleaned and gone over a third time, and now that it's back assembled and the choke cable's attached and oiled, lever in the front has been sorted, it's now operational. And the only way it really seeing was to take this vacuum diaphragm away, because you can't see anything when the cable's just attached and it's all covered up. So I remembered seeing this hole when I was cleaning the carburettor, and I thought, well, that's the plunger there. Should be able to see there whether it's moving, and that's exactly what we're doing. So it's all good to go ahead. This is the airbox from the green Koorlong restoration project. It was on the bike with no lid, but it had its rubber connections to the carburettor and to the snorkel laying inside the box, along with a whole lot of other shit, mud, leaves. It took ages to clean today. Just this box itself. I've taken the hoses off it. In the base there was mud that was stuck with an oily residue that needed degreaser to soften it up, and I think I had about 4 goes with degreaser, each time releasing another layer of mud and debris that was in the box, but eventually it came clean. It's now absolutely fine. What it was also missing while it was in the quad was its lid. This lid was off the 89 engine that I've had to help restore my 94 bike back 2 years or so ago. I was also surprised to find in the 88 bike that the air filter frame, the inside of the foam there, and the wedge structure that fits on the rear was kicking around the old 88 airbox. The 88 airbox is basically the same, but it had rusted nut inserts and things in it. It just looked a little bit tattier than the 96 box. So I used the 96 box with the 88 lid and the 88 internal parts to come up with the parts I need to get Abigail up and running, which didn't occur today due to just annoying issues. This airbox, I had no idea it would take 2 hours or so to get to this stage. This filter, I ordered it around 3 weeks ago, came in from China. It cost about $12 or something delivered, and I will give that a spray with some K&N air filter oil, just a very light spray of K&N air filter oil before I set it permanently in this box so that I can set the Abigail engine up and get it started, hopefully now tomorrow. Didn't get round to doing anything with the exhaust today, so hopefully that doesn't take too long tomorrow to do that. That's the filter fitted with the wedge jammed in the back there. The lid can go on. I've got a couple of new screws there to secure the lid, and just finding all those bits and cleaning them. Even that lid took up to 20 minutes to clean the crap off it. So there's a good airbox that I shall fit tomorrow.
I hope I get a better run at things tomorrow. Get out to your shed and have some fun.